What's going on, everybody? I'm going to do a quick recap of the Angelo Leo Luis Alberto Lopez fight, which I couldn't cover live fully because I was covering the Virgil Ortiz Sergey Bohachuk fight. All right, so if you guys know, I was here live. I had it on, but many of us was so disgusted of the outcome of the Virgil Ortiz fight. At the time I didn't recap the fight between Leo and Lopez, okay? And I didn't give you a breakdown, but what I did do is tell you that I'm always wrong on Lopez's fights when it comes to predictions. I think I'm like 0 for 2, and I told some of you guys that I'm leaning towards Lopez to win the fight, and I was wrong. I told you this before the actual fight started, that I was leaning towards Lopez, and it's because Lopez is a guy that clearly has defensive flaws, and I thought that a couple of the other guys like Conlon or Josh Warrington would expose those flaws. His chin is always up in the air. He's throwing wide shots and uppercuts from as low as possible, like straight from the ground. And he's always leading and lunging in with his chin up in the air. It's always worked for him because he's a pretty durable, at least up until this point, pretty durable fighter. He's so powerful, and it's always worked for him. But this was a very, very good fight. And this is one of those fights where I just wish it was on like its own night and not on simultaneously with the Virgil Ortiz Jr. fight. I mean, this was a really, really good fight. And after watching it fully and scoring it, I think this fight might have at least been just as hard to score as the Virgil Ortiz fight. Because there were rounds where I thought Leo had the momentum early in the round, and then Lopez would finish off the round stronger, or vice versa. All right. So I'm going to give you my scorecard real quick, and then just, talk more about the, how it ended. The first round, I gave it to Leo. I actually think I had it on the just on par with the unofficial scorecard. First round gave to Leo. Second round gave to Leo. Lopez for 3. Leo for 4. Lopez. I made a note that this was Lopez's best round in 5th. 6 I gave to Lopez again. Leo got the 7th. Lopez got the 8th. Leo got the 9th. All right. So I have it like 5 rounds to 4. Again, swing rounds. This was a very hard round fight to score. Like some of these rounds. Let me just say, I liked what Leo was doing, but Lopez was the bigger puncher. And then obviously we got the 10th round knockout. Now, me seeing the knockout, I've seen it. I saw it the night of the fight, and I've seen the replays. And watching it live, I forgot what round the knockout was in. So when it happened, it still shocked me. Even though I've seen highlights of it at least 10 times. The knockout was so crazy. It was a left hook counter from Leo. And it was just one of those shots. Laid Lopez completely out. Again, just him throwing shots with his chin up in the air. Finally got caught with the perfect shot. He gets knocked out. Back of his head hits the mat. Very dramatic knockout. I don't even know why the ref was counting. As I was watching on the live the other day, I was surprised the ref was even counting. Clearly, this guy was not getting... Excuse me. Clearly, this guy was not getting back up. Knockout of the year. I mean, the best knockout I remember seeing this year. And there was a lot of knockouts this year. And I have to really go back and check. But, I mean, damn. Lopez got destroyed. And Angelo Leo's a new champ. Now, like I've been saying in older videos with 126 featherweight, again, how many years? As we gone over 10 years without getting a unification. It seems like every year I bring this point up, and we still continue not getting unifications. Um, I don't know what's gonna happen. This was a very good fight. Um, I think Leo was edging it, but I think I can see Lopez. I don't know what the scorecards were officially, but I can see how like Lopez could have been winning that fight too. You know what I mean? Um, I just like what Leo was doing. Like I like the short counters. I think like him stepping in at times and landing overhand rights was like good. Lopez, it seemed like when he was jabbing and fighting behind a jab and throwing combinations, it seemed like those are the rounds like I gave him. When he was in just running straight at Leo because he likes to do that thing, and there was a round where I remember watching Lopez cock like he telegraphs his punches horribly, but it's at the worst angles. So I think his opponents don't really expect it. There was a time where he cocked his uppercut for like 3 seconds, like he held it from down here and threw it up. Like it looked like a video game at times. And at times he was still landing. The amount of uppercuts he landed, big puncher, and flaws. Technically, his flaws all over the place with him. But he's been very effective. And again, I'm like 0 for 3 with predicting his fights because in this fight here, after seeing him beat Conlon and Warrington and some of the other fights he's been involved in, I just didn't think Leo, and I like Leo a lot, I just didn't think he'd be the one to do it, and he did it. He proved me wrong. He actually exposed Lopez in his biggest flaw, and great win for him. But moving forward, I just want unification. Please, like someone unify. I heard that Espinoza is going to be rematching Robesi Ramirez, and a rematch that I'm not mad at. I mean, they both picked up wins recently, so it wasn't like a direct like rematch right after the fight. And sometimes we can get a couple of fights or so before we get in a rematch. We don't have to get a rematch immediately, but both picked up wins easily recently. That was one of the best fights of the year last year, like top 3 probably. So I'm not mad at a rematch between Espinoza and Ramirez. I just want a unification at some point. Ray Vargas is still a champion at 126. Leo is now a champion. I just want to see some sort of unification at some point. I don't care who it is and who's between. I don't care. Brandon Figueroa is the WBC interim champion. Brandon Figueroa and Ray Vargas, both PBC guys, they should have fought a while ago by now. I know Ray tried to go up to 130 and fight Ashaki. We just need some sort of unification. Brandon Figueroa, let's get that, and Ray Vargas, even though that's not a unification, let's get that fight. But let's get some kind of unification. I think it's just a little bit ridiculous at this point. All right. Anyway, great fight, great knockout. We got one of the best fights of the year, which was Ortiz and Bohachuk, and we also got knockout of the year, in my opinion. Great night of fighting. Too bad these guys all fought at the same time, but still a good fight. Be sure to check it out if you haven't seen it. It's on ESPN Plus on Top Rank card. All right, but let's get some unification out featherweight. It's been too long without it. All right, I'll see you guys on the next one. Please subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, share the video if you could. Peace.